Hi friends, my name is Tess, and today we are making sensory bins using materials you probably already have at home. Sensory tables are a staple of preschool classrooms because they have many benefits for young children's development. But it's easy to recreate this concept at home without spending much money. It just takes a little imagination to create hours of easy cleanup fun. Sensory tables are often used to support children's fine motor and social-emotional development. But it's also so much more than that. Sensory play is an important part of healthy brain development in our early years, as it encourages the use of senses to explore the world around us. It also encourages our scientific thinking and problem-solving abilities. Today, I'll show you 5 different ways to make a sensory bin at home with tools you might already have. But I encourage you to think outside the box and make your own sensory bins however you can. To begin, all you need is an empty box or bin. The sides should be at least a couple of inches tall, but not too tall so that kids can comfortably reach inside. The bins I'm using are pretty small, but you may want something bigger, especially if you have multiple children playing in the bin at a time. Other options include a large shoebox or a long plastic bin, like a wrapping paper storage bin. You could also take a cardboard box and cut it to fit your needs. Great, let's get started. For our water and color exploration bin, you will need water, an ice cube tray, food coloring, and droppers or pipettes. You can find droppers in many medicine or cosmetic bottles. Just wash them and they're ready to go. Place the ice cube tray inside the bin and fill it with water. Then add a drop of food coloring to a few of the cells. I'm using a few different colors because it really adds to the sensory and discovery experience. Then I'll just top it off with water to blend a little more, and it's time to play. Show kiddos how to use the droppers first, by explaining that squeezing the top lets the air out, and when you let go a little, the air comes back in. So if you do this in the water, squeeze the top to let the air out, and then keep the dropper inside the water while you let go of the top, so that the water gets sucked in instead of the air. You could also use a spoon if your child is having a hard time. This can be hours of fun, and keeping this project in a sensory bin means way less mess. When you finish with the colors in the tray, you can dump it out and start again with different colors. Our next sensory bin is an open-ended fine motor activity. You can make your own interpretation using play-doh, sticks, pasta, or whatever you have lying around. If you don't have any play-doh handy, I'll put an easy-to-follow recipe in the description box. One of the purposes of this bin is to make different textures with the outside of the pasta. So if you have multiple kinds of pasta, you can use them to make different textures in your dough. Another purpose is to practice fine motor skills by lacing. I'm using chopsticks, but you could use colored pencils, thin pasta, or sticks for this. I'm going to place the chopsticks upright in the Play-Doh and then lace on some pasta. This should work with any large tube pasta. This project may quickly turn into just playing with Play-Doh and the other materials, but that's okay because it will be contained in the bin, and simply playing with Play-Doh is great for fine motor and sensory development. If you have some shredded paper and a small box, here's another easy fine motor project. Cut up a few pipe cleaners and place them on top of the paper. Then, using a clothespin or tweezers, pick up the pipe cleaners. This is called a feed the birds sensory bin because the pipe cleaners are kind of like worms. But you can use this shredded paper to pad the bottom of the box for other kinds of sensory play. A box with a lid makes this one easy to clean up and store to use again. One of my favorite sensory experiences is playing in the dirt, and this is also a great one to use with multiple children. Using a large bin, fill with soil or rich dirt. Add some leftover seeds and small pots to fill. If you have gardening tools, you can include those as well. Don't be afraid to get messy by adding extra water and pipettes. Or you can just dump the water in for some muddy fun. This is also a great opportunity to talk about what seeds need in order to grow into plants and food. You can always toss the dirt outside when you're done, which makes for easy cleanup. Last but not least, we are making cloud dough. Cloud dough is soft and can be soothing for children with extra sensory needs. And it's simple to make using only flour and vegetable oil. You can also use food coloring if you like. I'm using about 2 cups of flour and 3/4 of a cup of oil. But really, it's just about adding and mixing the dough until it becomes a dry consistency that doesn't feel too greasy on your hands and stays together easily. Cloud dough is great with cookie cutters and creates a beachy sand feel. It forms into shapes easily and can be used for many different types of play. Keeping your cloud dough in a sensory bin is great for easy cleanup. And if you have an airtight container, it will stay good for a few days afterward. I hope you enjoyed these sensory bin ideas. Which one do you think you'll make with your family today? Thanks so much for stopping by, friends, and be sure to share this video with others who may find it helpful. Thanks! See you next time!